What does being a Korean, Colombian has to do with plane crash? What does being why are Asians deemed, great in math, studies, so on and so forth? What about why certain Bill Gates and certain, IT guys became billionaires? So if you thought Outliers was just about that 10,000-hour rule, no, it's more than that. If you haven't read Outliers, that's who I'm addressing, I guess, because I haven't read Outliers. I just heard about it. I heard the 10,000-hour rule, and I thought that's kind of what it was about. But no, it wasn't about that. It's many more than that. It's about all these outliers, factors. Mainly what Malcolm Gladwell dwells into it, just having the talent and the work ethic may not be enough. Being in the right time, right circumstances, right culture, so on and so forth, matters a lot, or matters the most. Which kind of I agree in most cases, I would say, because again, there are outliers to outliers, I believe, which he doesn't address, right? There are always outliers to outliers, right? Where the circumstances of everything is going against them, but they still succeed. So he doesn't go into that, but mainly he talks about several things. One is like, for example, the plane crashes. Why the South Koreans and Colombians were crashing planes a lot at one time, or at least the percentage of plane crash was high for those pilots. That was because of their culture, wherein they were very subservient, giving deference to the captain, even when he's making mistakes, versus the Western, where people are not afraid to call out somebody higher, higher ranking and higher position than them, which I think it's very, very true. Basically, being originally from India, I've seen that a lot, but here, not a big deal to question higher ups and question the orders given, versus back in India, it's like, no, you give a deference a lot. You don't question things many times. You respect the elders, so on and so forth. That's one part. Then he goes into the 10,000-hour rule, regardless if you have, like Bill Gates, and he talks about Bill Joy, I think is the other guy, I forgot, who created Sun Microsystems and Java, the programming language, so on and so forth. All them, and Steve Jobs, all of them were born in the mid-50s. And then the whole circumstances where the computers came about and the time they were able to spend because of the timing, where they were able to practice the craft, the 10,000-hour rule, to become experts and all that other stuff. And that's how they succeeded, became big in that. Versus there was someone else who was born in the wrong time, wrong circumstances, culture, upbringing, so on, who's brilliant, more brilliant than anybody, almost brilliant than even Einstein, hasn't succeeded because he was born into that. So he gives that example to the person who's so brilliant, he hasn't even, but he wasn't able to complete his degree, and thereby is missing on opportunities because nobody takes him seriously about his theories and science and all that stuff. And the biggest thing was, which was kind of revealing to me about mathematics, science, and all that stuff, why Asians are deemed good. Even I guess you could put Indian, but he doesn't go into Indian. He goes mostly to China and Japan and South Korea and so on, where there are stats, how the rice paddy feels, even within China, how the rice paddy feels, and the culture people are used to about the hard work and, amount of hours they're used to put, which kind of, got into the whole modern society of even how students work. For example, back in India, I was used to 5.5 days or more than that of school. Like Saturday was half a day or a little bit more than half a day. That wasn't a thing till I came here, where it's 5 days only and half, full Saturday and Sunday off. a lot of homework back in India. The state I come in, the mathematics was way advanced than even rest of the country. Actually, we were way advanced. How they put. It's not that we were brilliant. It's just that they put a lot more stuff on us and expected to do it. And that's what he emphasizes. Like, the expectation is different, the hard work element is different, and thereby that's why they're putting it. So he kind of shares some of those examples, even in US, when the school system operates differently and the expectations are put on the kids and the hard work is expected, how incredibly well they perform. So anyway, there's a lot of different things in Outliers beyond just the 10,000 hour rule. So if you just thought it was about just the 10,000 hour rule, I would recommend reading the book. Almost didn't read it because some of the recent comments and opinions by Malcolm Gladwell didn't sit really well with me. So, but, forget all that stuff. His book is great. His information is great. Whatever his opinions, that doesn't matter. His information is spot on. So I would highly recommend reading Outliers.